We need action not only to end the fighting, but to make peace. These words are inscribed on the Reconciliation Peacekeeping War Memorial, spoken by Canada's former Prime Minister, Lester Pearson, on November 2nd, 1956. The Reconciliation is located on Sussex Drive and St. Patrick's Street, close to the market and down the street from Parliament. The monument was a joint venture between the Department of National Defence and the National Capital Commission in 1990 and built in 1992. A concrete corridor of steel debris inside granite walls with floor tiles designed to look like the paths seen in Cyprus where Canadian peacekeeping soldiers were stationed in 1964. Trois figures habillées en uniforme restent au bout du monument, alertes dans une position qui représente les dangers des missions de maintien de la paix. Deux autres soldats regardent dans la distance, avec un troisième s'accroupit à côté du drapeau canadien, en appelant la situation et en disant que les gens sont saufs. Dessous les soldats, il y a des murs qui s'écroulent qui représentent la destruction de la guerre. Et dans la distance, un bosquet, un symbole de la vie et la paix. Le monument utilise une tranche pointue pour symboliser la procession à un futur paisible. To the side of the monument stands 12 oak trees, symbolizing the 10 Canadian provinces and territories that comprised Canada when the monument was built. Adjacent to the trees is a ceremonial space. The Reconciliation commemorates Canadian soldiers, both alive and dead, who have served in peacekeeping missions around the world. Since 1947, Canada has committed to international peace efforts and other overseas military actions.
Since 1948, over 110,000 Canadian soldiers have served in peacekeeping operations around the world. Since 1948, Canadian peacekeepers have been part of missions in Egypt, Cyprus, the Balkans, Congo, South Sudan, Mali, Rwanda, and much more. Former Canadian Prime Minister Lester B. Pearson leadership during the 1956 Suez Canal crisis in Egypt resulted in Canada having a place in the United Nations Emergency Forces, becoming our Canadian identity.
So who are peacekeepers?
Peacekeepers work to maintain order, peace, and security in conflict zones. They work on missions to restore the rule of law and to help protect human rights. Peacekeepers can be tasked with daunting tasks such as monitoring ceasefires, patrol demilitarized zones, and act as negotiators between clashing forces. Peacekeepers can be sent on mission to investigate violations of human rights, help clear rubble and mines in war zones, look into war crimes, and protect refugees who need humanitarian assistance. Each year, May 29th marks the International Day for United Nations Peacekeepers, a time to celebrate the accomplishments of United Nations peacekeepers in the past, as well as reflect on current missions happening today. In Canada, each year, August 9th, marks National Peacekeeper Day to honor the approximately 130 peacekeepers who have lost their lives on peacekeeping missions and to honor current members today.
Hi, my name is Marlene Alcora, and I'm principal at St. Patrick's High School. Back in the 90s, I joined the Canadian Reserves, and I worked out of the Reserve Electronic Warfare Squadron in Kingston. At the time when I joined, the Blue Berets were known as one of the more prestigious positions that you could possibly volunteer for as a reservist. Many of my friends and my colleagues were able to go overseas on peacekeeping missions. Many of them returned with great stories to share, but many also came back with a lot of sad stories and many difficult experiences that they shared with us. Every year, we have Remembrance Day, we have different commemorative moments for our soldiers who lost their lives overseas, but we don't often talk about the peacekeepers who returned and what life looks like for them once they've returned. As I drive through downtown Ottawa and I go by the monument on a regular basis, it's a good reminder of how important it is to remember those that did come back and all the hard work that they did for us. For many, many years, our soldiers did not see war. They more went to support those that were living in war situations. And that is what our peacekeepers did. They went in to support and to help rebuild what was left in the chaos after war. And so it is a great moment every time I go by that monument to remember and to keep them in mind and their families as well.